there we go. Should be good. I need to like get some sticky notes and just have them ready for like a whole list of things to do before the stream.
Yeah, for sure. We've got hands, and this will test if I'm picking up.
Yep.
Nice.
All right. You were having trouble with your camera. Did that ever get resolved?
Looks like it's resolved.
Or are you still having trouble?
Una?
Who are you talking to?
Zangetsu.
Oh yeah, that I managed to fix that. I unplugged it, killed Discord. That seemed to fix it.
Are we live?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Still says Horizon Zero Dawn on my notification.
It's a D&D on mine.
Yeah. For some reason, even after
Could
I'd
be
done all
my
those
phone, to
changes,
be honest with you.
after I'd done all those changes, it decided it wanted to go back to what I had before. So I had to re-edit that in the stream info. What's important is the title on the stream itself.
Yeah.
Title and tags and stuff. Alright, there we go. Typed out and copying and hitting enter now, and you can use that wherever.
Thank you.
Alright. Not in Twitch clips, that's the wrong place to notify. Blue Squadron tends to take a moment to post automatically, so I don't need to worry about that, I don't think. Check that out later. I don't know, I'm just mumbling because I'm used to trying to make sure I have something to say while on stream. Tavern. There's the tavern.
Y'all ready for your first combat in like 5 sessions?
Yes, kinda.
Totally.
I was so enthusiastic.
I know, right?
Shut
find
up,
out.
you freaking goddess here.
Hey, I specifically said, wait to get revenge.
Knowing very well that
Yeah, but
I
you
could-
also gave us away, so we were on a timetable anyway.
Yeah, that's what Shioran's thinking. If
Wait.
if they at this point they know it's us, like they know we came for revenge. So even if we leave now, we're on a timetable.
Well,
They're coming after.
now, yeah.
So That's kind of why she's joining in the battle rather than like suggesting we leave.
Yep.
I'm done with those notifications.
I'm gonna fucking destroy these guys.
You will try.
We were gonna start this one with rolling initiative, right?
Correctamundo, you guys have gotten your pre-combat actions in at this point.
Well, yeah, I killed 2 or 3 of them with fucking call lightning.
I'm glad I made that Molotov still.
Honestly, yeah, it's good. It's good.
Alright, all my notifications are done. Yeah.
Oh, mine are done too. Okay.
Alright. Sky, I don't think I've heard you say anything. Have you?
Me?
You said he was ready a while back.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. My brain, I've been focusing on all the getting ready, and I'm not even certain if I was listening when you said anything or not. My bad on
It's
that.
all good. It's all good.
Alright. I think at this point I've done everything I can.
Just give me 1 second here. Putting together the order.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta find out what to spend $6 on. Beans.
V, are you staying off camera?
Just for a second.
Okay.
Yes, always beans.
Beans. We all know the limerick joke.
Because we were all 5 at one point. Yes, yes, we do.
Yes, and none of us are Zoomers, I'm pretty sure, so.
No, I think most of us are millennials.
Yeah?
I think that's.
Eh,
the general-
Anybody not a millennial?
I am not a millennial, I don't think.
When were you? When were you
What
born?
year?
1999.
Oh yeah, that's a Zoomer.
That's a zoomer.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah, no.
right at
no,
Zoomer
that
cusp.
is not a Zoomer.
No, it's not.
That is no. That is a Gen Z, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Zoomers are the ones that come a little later.
Ah, okay.
No, Zoomers are the ones that come a little bit later. There's like a gap in the generation. It's fucking weird. Like half
half
of
always
them
the
are
half
generation.
Zoomer, half
half
millennial
of them
kind of
are
thing. Yeah.
absolutely Zoomer crazy bullshit, right? And then half of them are a little bit more like millennials and are acceptable, like Tori.
I don't really have.
Unacceptable.
I don't really have a problem with honestly any of the younger generations. No problem. 'Cause we all kind of know who the real assholes
I just
are.
don't understand some of the slang the kids use.
Yeah, I think that's
I
my
really
main-
can't
main
wrap
issue.
my
They
mind
make me
around
feel old.
finna.
I'm
Urban Dictionary,
If
man.
what?
Like, I'm pretty
Do you
sure
know
it
what
like
really
originated
gets
because
me?
like when you're like texting, you hit the F and the I instead of the G and the O. But
Yeah, because the F
I
and
don't
the G
know.
are right
I'm
next to each
too
other on
old
the
to
keyboard.
I'm too old to care.
I have no idea what word.
I
we're
don't
talking
know,
about.
but do you know the one that absolutely grinds my gears is sheesh.
Yes.
fucking
That's
hate
No,
it.
I agree.
I hate
I don't
it.
care if we alienate people in our watching audience. I don't care. That's stupid. Don't do
I'm
it.
sorry. I hate that.
I guess we
It's
gotta
just-
start doing it.
It drives me insane, man.
My other roommate
My
Echo does
generation.
that, and I have considered homicide. So yes.
Like
This episode
honestly,
of-
it's
In this episode of We're Old podcast.
yeah. Like I can't with that one. That one really gets me. Like I'm pretty cool with all the others, whatever. But that one just really makes my blood boil. Like I don't know why, but it's the worst.
The only one I've really enjoyed is Yeet. That's the
Yeet.
only one I've enjoyed.
It's a good one.
And never
See,
let
I love
Kobe
Yeet.
die.
Yeet is great. Oh,
And never
Too
let Kobe
soon.
die. Kobe.
But that's
Too
millennial. Because I remember doing Kobe in school.
Oh, yeah.
So
Kobe. We have a tradition here at the apartment, but I'm not going to talk about it.
It's dark.
It's dark.
Very much so.
if you miss the trash can, it hits the wall, and then you call it Kobe.
No, it's Kobe if
Okay.
you get it in the trash can. It's something else if you don't.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I think I get what's going on. So.
Yeah, I do too. Look, man, I like some dark humor, so. Now y'all realize the cleric is the most evil one here.
Oh, always 100%. Have you
Oh,
have you
definitely.
met my fucking grave cleric? Like she's so cute, but she is the epitome of darkness and evil.
Yeah, you're into religion. No wonder you're evil.
I don't really think my religion's that
Wow.
Not really real there.
What is
bad.
this?
Yeah,
streaming
we have
become?
alienated a lot of our audience today.
Let's
We haven't even started the stream, and we were starting to talk some shit. This is good. I like it.
This is gonna be great. It's because we all know we're about to die.
Let's just get
I
like the fallout
I'm not
out of the
walking
way
out of
before
here.
this. Yes.
I know I'm not walking out of here because these motherfuckers have to die, and for them to die, I'm probably gonna have to die. So, just letting somebody tell my date that I died, okay?
I'll go on your date for you.
Kale, I don't
Kale, this
think
fills
that's a
it.
good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. Can you imagine that? Just like you rock up and there's Kale, like you're expecting
you're going on a
Violet,
date
but
with
there's
Barry.
Kale.
But instead, you get a half elf.
Just Kale.
They're all small to her.
Oh no, I'm just here to tell you that things didn't go well.
Bork, bork.
Sorry.
Again, I'm the evil one.
Now that Air's dead, yeah.
Oh no.
Not
Well,
sure
you haven't
today I
met my new
wanna-
character yet.
I have a feeling that we're not quite out of the woods yet. So
So everyone,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
die are you trusting your survival to tonight?
I'm not, because I am fully convinced I'm not walking out of this encounter.
You'll be fine.
I mean, you might not
do-
walk out, but you'll be in a net, and
I've
that's
this
just
entire episode, so I know for a fact exactly what happens.
Well,
Are we
if
ready to
everyone's
start?
ready, we can get to the recap.
Hey, Titan,
Yes.
how's it going?
Yo.
All right.
Right. So, the last session we had a interesting meeting between Air and Rogar. It was. I'm going to say it's a DM. It did not go as I expected.
What as I expected, pretty much.
Air decided that she was going to confront Rogar just to make him aware that she was alive. Didn't really seem to have any other ulterior motive to it at all. But Rogar didn't like the idea that someone that he and his gang had killed had survived. There wasn't really an idea of how. Air wasn't giving much information besides, well, I'm here. And Rogar had the mentality of like, well, I might as well then finish the job. And I didn't really protest besides telling them that he's rude. And then they proceeded to attack her, and that's about all everyone else really knows. Actually, no one really knows that, even that. But they dropped Air, and the scene then moved on to the others. They were investigating a casino called the the Ruby Curtain, that Merrick had wanted to look into. And after you guys had gotten there and started to play some of the games, Violet had a bit of a bad feeling, and she couldn't shake it, and realized that Air wasn't there, and that kind of scared her. She decided that she wanted to go check on where she was. You guys went back to the inn you guys were sleeping at, and from there you found that Air had left a note. Violet read it, and it's basically stated that if Violet is reading this letter, that Air is dead, and that most likely the culprit is Rogar. She then, in a blind rage, decides, we have to take revenge. There's a bit of arguing, but everyone ended up acquiescing to it, and you guys traveled down to the Memphis Brawlers headquarters and started to rain chaos upon them, with Violet summoning a giant storm cloud and lightning crackling down and taking out a number of them, which was causing some chaos until the magic-wielding twin showed up and was able to dispel the black cloud over the courtyard. Then Lyson was also shooting off arrows into the groups. Kale had gone in, threw a Molotov cocktail at a few of them, burning them, and then Shorn created a fog cloud, which kind of created a bit of confusion in the courtyard, but is currently hiding you all from the people in the fog, but also the people in the fog from the rest of you. And that is where we will start back up. So we will start with rolling initiative.
I forgot to do one thing.
And I will start by asking for Kaylin's.
Or that would be a natural 20.
All right, natural 20, which gives you advantage on your, basically, any D20 roll you make during this first turn.
Okay.
And then what's the total?
That would be a 20. Let me make sure here. God, the freaking D&D. Okay, 22. That's what I thought.
Lyslin.
14 total.
Shioran.
9. And I would like to say that I saw it roll onto the 19 and then slowly drop onto the 9.
I hate that. Violet.
15.
And Tori.
That's a 19. Rip. No, it's a 20. Dirty 20. Because I can do math.
Did I not? Hold on. Music, please.
All right. Sorry, I just had to get the initiative set up there. So the first in initiative order is Galen. Did you hear me, Kel?
Triple muted again.
Triple muted.
Yeah, I got a new headset. So let's just say it's been mixed results so far.
Still a learning
So-
curve.
Yeah. Okay, so I see the big fog cloud around the corner.
That would be the blue circle around the individuals.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and blindly cast a fireball.
Let me check something. I think it's just a point within range, right?
Yeah, just at the ground, right in the middle of that fog cloud.
All right. Do you just want to kind of, it's a 20-foot radius, you just want to encompass the cloud itself?
Yeah.
All right. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them needed to make saves.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I guess I still have to roll an attack on this one, so I'm just gonna do that.
You roll the damage anyways, because even if they make the save, they take half.
Okay. Cool.
And what's your save?
My save is 14.
One, 3, and 5 made it. The rest didn't.
Okay, so I'll roll my damage now. That'd be a total of that'd be a total of 35.
35. Alright, so... Alright, so Kale kind of points around the corner, just sees the big fog cloud, and just kind of points his finger right at the middle. Little ball of fire just launches into the fog, completely gets lost, and then just fireball ignites, and you hear screams of pain. Can't see what happens, but you definitely hurt some people.
I'm going to kind of peek back around the corner now and just kind of just sit and wait.
Does that cause any wind of
Mm-mm.
moderate or greater speed?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, the flames just, there is no concussiveness to fireball. It is just a blossoming of fire.
Which is really wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like to imagine that it kind of happened there was just a photograph, and then suddenly there was just disappearing bodies in the fog.
Yeah, you just see kind of a flash, it's you can see some shadows of the bodies in there, but then the light fades, but you see a few of them kind of start to fall. Is that it for you, Caitlin? Or are you gonna do anything else?
I ain't doing a darn thing after that. I think I'm good.
Gotcha.
Just waiting for my next opportunity to do the same thing.
We've honestly been playing this a lot more tactically than we have in a while.
Short and Kill, you see pop around the corner the other twin, who immediately pulls out his longbow and launches it at Shorn. You'd be the one in the front.
Pop around the corner.
He should be on the token. Yeah, he's the one on the outside on the right outside the blue circle.
Yeah, right next to the gate.
Okay.
That is correct.
Oh, my volume's really low. Is it because I'm turned away? Is that better?
Okay, yeah, you might need to turn yourself up just a
Does-
on the
It's
strength.
an 18
Okay, how does
hits
that
you,
sound?
Shorn.
I'm sorry, give me 1 second.
Yep.
How does that sound? No change? Okay, this is odd. Let me check what filters I have. I have no filters.
Oh yeah, you're like half of what everyone else is.
Sorry, technical difficulties. I have to figure
While
out
you're
what.
figuring this out, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Let me desktop this. Alright. Personalize. Sorry if everything freezes, I'm just looking through certain things. I just updated my Windows, and there's a high probability that that might have affected volume.
So if you go to if you right click on the little sound icon on your taskbar,
Yeah.
and click on sounds, and then go to recording, go to your mic and hit properties, make sure that the levels of that is higher. They might have set it back to a default if they updated your sound device.
Okay, so right click, sounds.
Yep.
Recording,
Yep.
and then I'm sorry, set default.
You see your default device?
Yeah.
Make sure it's the right device, first of all, which I'm pretty sure it is. And
It is.
then hit highlight that one, just click on it, and then hit properties.
Okay. Microphone's at max.
Okay.
That's not even the right one, actually. Hang on a second. Set default. Property. It's down to 75.
Oh, wow, that got louder.
Sorry. If I do that, it's going to.
It worked. For a few seconds.
Yeah, I'm changing it. Everyone might have to adjust my volume. How's that for the stream? Since stuff froze, I have sounded slightly louder. Okay, so for the stream, how does that sound? I also don't have noise gate added because this was one of the ones that I didn't add something added to. Or not noise gate, but the background noise filter. I haven't closed my door.
It sounds decent on my end, but others might disagree.
Titan, how's it going? It's much better. Now it's less my volume is low and more that your ears are shit. Okay. Alright. Sorry if everyone has to adjust their volume for that. I hope just hitting OK works on there. Alright, I'm sorry. What was the question? Let's go ahead and get back to this.
Does an 18 hit you?
An 18 will definitely hit me.
So this guy shoots off in quick succession 3 arrows, with 2 of them missing, just barely kind of skidding across the road behind you, and then the third one strikes you in the shoulder for...
So 2 missed and 1 hits me?
Correct.
Okay.
That'll be 11 points of piercing damage.
Alright.
And then you see him pop back behind the fog cloud out of sight. Tori, your turn.
He's gonna watch.
All right. There's a loud sound of a shutter being opened, and there is another individual that is now standing at the doorway, and then he hops out. Gets to there.
Oh, whoa, my stream just...
Lyson, you are now the DM.
Yeah, I see myself in 2 places at once. That's interesting.
Yeah, hold on a second, I'm sorry. Something... For some reason, it's not even showing up on... Okay, that should have fixed it. And we are still frozen for some reason on my end. Or at least I am.
That happened when you clicked away when you were doing volume as well. I think that's just a capture thing.
Is it working on stream? Nope, it's frozen.
Yeah, for a couple of frames it worked though.
What the heck, Streamlabs, stop. That worked. That fixed it. Cool.
No, it didn't. Oh, yes, it did. Okay.
Are we all good?
Oh boy, Streamlabs has been a pain today. Streamlabs and Twitch together. I think we're all good, yeah. Sorry about that, everyone.
Windows.
Yeah, it's probably Windows, honestly, now that I think about it.
Okay.
All right. From Lysolin and Violet, from your elevated position, you can see Rogar actually come through the doorway and step out. And then he gets down and behind the fog cloud, so you're not able to see him directly, but you know he's there. And it will be Violet's turn.
So can I see where the twin is?
You can't see the one that had the bow, but you can see the the spellcaster in the doorway of the shutter.
And that's where I saw Rogar come out of, right?
Correct.
Okay, how far away am I from there? Like, feet-wise. All I have to go off is the stream, because I can't watch the stream on my laptop, otherwise everything will go
Yeah.
fucky.
From Rogar? 140.
From
It's further than that.
the
Yeah.
door.
Remember diagonal movement.
Right. There's also diagonal. It's 140 plus, whatever it is for down. You're pretty far away.
Okay.
Calculating it right now. 1 second.
This map is kind of quite big.
You are over 160 feet
Yeah.
away from him.
Okay, 160 feet is not bad. Okay, so at the corner of the other building there, the one that is in front of where we are, how far away would that be?
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55 feet away. The one immediately across the street, you said?
Yeah. Okay, so how far is it to that closest corner?
To the building you asked about?
Yeah,
Right here?
like the
No, the building across the street.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
Oh, that one. That's about 55-ish. A little bit more because of diagonal stuff, but
55.
This is the one you're talking about, though, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, that one over there. The
Give me a cardinal
So
direction
you're
from you.
you're going that way, I mean that way.
Is it north, east, or west from your current position?
North?
I mean, if you're just looking at where Violet is, if it's that's north.
Yes.
Yeah.
Up
So that's so that's
yeah.
about 25 feet away.
Okay. I will. I want to move up that way as far as I can, which is 30 feet, and then I'll use my my action as well to continue.
Okay. You just wanted to go along the street, or you wanted to get closer to the fence?
I just want to go along the street. I'm trying to get within 120 feet.
yeah, you're in. Well,
It's 80 feet straight, but
yeah.
you're probably about, I'd say about 120 feet at this point, with full
Okay.
action and
That's good.
movement.
Cool. That's great. Think
This is a weird way to
that
do it, but I
is
think it works.
all I got.
Yeah.
So that would be
Exactly.
exactly 120.
Okay, cool. Yep, that's good. It's fine. That is all I can do, because I have no bonus actions. Bonus actions don't exist for me.
Yeah, spellcasters don't get a lot of those.
I've got a couple.
Like I said, don't get a lot.
I only have them if I put the spells. That's it.
$15 to hit you, Shioran.
15 hits me.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get. I'm gonna be defeated before it comes to my turn.
So that is going to be 4 points of piercing damage. And a 18 to hit you, Kale.
That will hit.
And that will be 11 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
So this guy comes around, and he's got a crossbow at this point. He's... actually, sorry. Kayla, you can take the damage back. Crossbows can't fire twice. My bad.
Okay.
He's got multi-attack with his weapon, not his crossbow. My bad.
I've got 2 arrows in me now. We did have a short rest, right?
Before attacking? No.
You're right. Oh, I've got no wild shape.
Lyslin, your turn. If so, the map's a little low. There are 3 more individuals that have stepped out of that gate on the north of where everyone else is at the moment.
All right. You said range-wise, currently I'm about like 160 from Mage Twin.
Generally, yeah. He's got... Do you have, like, sharpshooter?
No.
Okay.
I didn't
so
pick that
he
up yet.
he does have half cover because he is under a roof, and since with a bow you have to kind of do an arching to get that kind of far, he's got about half cover against your arrows.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. In that case, Lyslin is going to charge after Violet, running 15 feet to the edge, taking a running long jump over the gap, and hopefully landing on the...
What's your strength score?
Strength is 16.
Oh yeah, you easily make it.
Let's see, that is 15 going straight, 10 for the jump, that's 25
You're at
so far?
30.
And then 30 for the extra landing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've still got 25. Nice. Yeah, I'll move up right behind Violet. So you're really intent on doing this, eh?
She doesn't even... Not even...
Doesn't seem to acknowledge you.
This is blind rage at this point.
Oh, man, I've got a personal vendetta here, but at the same time, I'm seeing Shiorn get pinged a lot. From our height, I've got eyes on Bow Twin, yeah?
Yes, you can see him just barely around the corner of the fog cloud.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Go for it.
Alright, both of my attacks is a natural 11 on the die, plus whatever the fuck my bow is. That's a plus 7, so 18 total on both of those?
Both of those hit. You see for the first one, hits. The second one, he just ekes a little bit out of the way. It still hits him, but it seems to do not as much damage. So,
okay, sure thing. First hit, that's 9 piercing, 4 psychic. Wait, hold on, I forgot my mistake. 13 piercing, 4 psychic.
Nice.
And the second arrow is a total of 3 piercing and 3 psychic.
all right, yeah. So that
Wait,
second.
forgot my modifier on that one. Sorry, 7 piercing.
Gotcha. So yeah, that second arrow, he's able to. He gets hit with the first one, looks up in your position, and just dodges right at the last second as it kind of just scrapes across his shoulder, hitting him, still doing damage, but not as much as it would have.
Certainly. And yeah, I'm not gonna blow any spells yet, so that'll be my turn.
All right. So range on the first one. Closer. Does a 19 hit you, Violet?
Fuck no, it doesn't. Of course it does. Of course it does. Tiny.
So that'll be 6 points of piercing damage as one of them comes out, but kind of like runs out of the fog. You see him just scorched and burned as he points his crossbow up at you and fires away, because unfortunately the giant centaur standing on the building is a little bit of a giveaway.
That's fine. I don't even look at this motherfucker. I'm just looking over to where I saw Rogar.
And a 21 to hit Kaylin.
No. Yes.
And that'll be 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Shioran, your turn.
All right, finally. Okay, so
You're fighting a gang. There's a lot of people. Sorry.
yeah, no, I get it. Shioran is going to You know what? Yeah, since it seems to be a bit of an issue, Shioran's going to go ahead and Coral Skin up, cast Coral Skin on herself.
Is that an action or a bonus action?
Action.
Okay. I don't druid enough.
Yeah. Trying to remember what bonus actions I have, which can't be a leveled spell. I know that. But Coral Skin and then you know what? Yeah, since I'm already healing hurting just a tiny bit, I'm gonna go ahead and bonus action a second wind, which is a 1d10 plus 2.
Go for it. You kind of, your skin kind of hardens over with this like coral growth, these rocks living rocks that like, grow out of your scales in your skin, and you kind of take a deep breath, and you ignore some of the pain that you're currently in as 2 bolts are sticking out of you.
Well, that's
Or an arrow and a bolt.
that was a bad roll. That's a total of 4.
That's fine. This is a demon hunter. You can't close a wound by breathing well. That's so.
But it does help a little bit. And
Yeah.
next turn I will get into. I'm gonna. Yeah, next turn I'm. No, I'm going to go ahead and move. I can't remember if I moved my tokens. Nope. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and move about. Right over across the street over here.
All right.
That way I'm away from Kale, so and spread out so no fireballs can.
That's about as far as you can get with 30.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Is that it for you then, Sharon?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I actually. Do I still have it? Yeah, I haven't used it yet. I haven't used my action surge.
Yeah, true. And you can use that to cast another leveled spell. That is one of
Yes.
the benefits of action surge.
Yes, I can. So I am going to. Yep, I'm going to use one of my class abilities, Guiding Bolt, on. Which one was it? Sorry, I'm cycling through like 3 or 4 different windows at the moment.
You're good.
Well, let's go for the one right in front, right there.
All right. Thug 5.
Yeah. That's total of 20.
Definitely hits.
46. Four. Oop, that was a 4, and it kind of. That's 8. 11. That's just straight 46, correct?
Yeah, just 46. Yep.
Okay, so 11 damage total, and the next person to attack him has advantage.
So Shioran comes around, creates this coral armor around herself, goes up, and then just blasts this energy that streaks up and over the fence and strikes the guy with the bow that was just attacking.
So a little
Caleb.
bit of flavoring. She casts the coral skin, which causes all the coral to cover her body, and then she does a flourish, pulling out her her trident, and points it forward, breathes in, and that's where she does the second wind. And then a blast comes. Brain, please. A basic spike made out of the stars and dots and lines, like a constellation spike, shoots out of the tip of the staff. Trident.
And he is looking hurt. Is that it for you then, Shioran?
Yeah, that's all I can do. I unfortunately cannot drop the fog cloud without casting a spell.
The ones paying attention on the roof, you see the caster vanish.
Actually,
Okay.
it
So
says-
it's a good sign.
It says it lasts for the duration of until the wind of moderate or greater speed disperses it, but it's also concentration. Can I?
Is coral skin concentration?
It is. So the fog cloud
Then
does disappear.
Fog cloud disadvantage.
While you all do the next few turns, I'm going to go grab the food that just arrived.
All right. So he vanishes. All right, so you guys see a large number of people file out of about 8 of them file out of the door to the north, and they all seem to be not happy. Back at the top, Caleb. You're muted again if you are talking.
Yeah, I'm also trying to get the food too. So,
If you take a second, go.
yeah, let me just take a second.
Tori, you are on the next player character on deck if you want to decide what you would like to do.
I know what I'm gonna do.
Is it nothing? I bet it's nothing.
No, it's discreetly follow Violet and Lyslin.
Doing that, I will have you do a stealth check, but we'll do that when we get to your turn.
Okay. So it's not nothing, but it's almost nothing.
Ah, yes. Functionally nothing.
I'm moving, that's it.
You don't have anything being physically hiding you, like magically, correct?
Alright now.
Okay.
We are so gonna die again.
This very well might be the end of this campaign, but we'll see.
It lasted 18 sessions, guys. I mean, that's pretty good.
It's a new
It's pretty
record
good.
for us.
Yeah, it is. Like, it's...
Just saying, right? This is going to come down to me like posting on social media. Never play with fairies. Okay, I think I'm ready to go. I'm going to. Okay, so the guy who shot me. He's a. I'm going to guiding bolt him.
All right. I think a couple of them have shot you, but I think 5 was the one that did the last one. And he is currently sparkling with energy from Shioran's guiding bolt.
He's about to get extra sparkly.
He's about to get advantage on your attack, which is going to really fuck him up.
Advantage on my attack. Got it. Well, that's not good. That's a lot better. Okay. 21 a hit.
No. Yes, you do.
Okay.
These guys all have +3 plate mail. What are you talking about?
And this is a level 1 spell. Oh, okay.
What spell are you casting?
19 points of damage.
What spell did you cast?
A Guiding Bolt, 46.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And just a blast of energy comes down and knocks this guy fully out. And he is donezo.
Pass along the advantage. Oh, wait, he's dead. Never mind.
Oh, he's gone. There's no more getting advantage on that guy unless you just want to beat onto a dead corpse. It's up to you guys.
Tempting.
I'm putting it past us right now.
Yeah.
Well, last time
That
they
was
were here,
fun.
they beat a dead horse. Why can't we?
And I guess... Nah, I don't really need anything for a bonus action right now. So...
All right. You see the twin take off across the courtyard, hop over the fence, and climb up the building, seemingly with ease, and then drops prone on the other side on the building itself. And you can still see him from your elevated position, but it is really hard. Not only is it disadvantage on the attack because of where he's at, but it's also 3/4 cover because there's a slight rise on the building that he's hiding behind. So, because he's back far enough, you can still see him, but it's definitely a small shot if you're going to shoot at him. But that is his entire turn. Tori.
My stealth check is a 25.
25. Yeah, you definitely go unseen.
And I'm just going to attempt to get to the building that they are on, but
Uh,
farther back.
You got 40, don't you?
Yeah.
You're easily able to get over there.
Oh no. Well, I mean, that's not terrible. Could have been worse.
My favorite is finding
look like you're
freeze
praising
frames of people.
Jesus.
All right, he's gonna fire. Man, how do you do that measuring tool thing?
You do it normally, except you right click when you want to do the.
Where is the tool?
That's the.
It's
one
the,
with
circle with the ruler
Yeah,
icon.
the circle with the ruler.
I see snap to center, snap to corner, snap no snap, and show others, hide from others. Still, I see.
Snap to center would be the one that I'm using.
So give or take. Yeah, you're outside his normal range, but he's still gonna fire. Uh, 9 to hit you.
Just barely misses. Oh wait, no.
9? I'm about to say, how low is your AC?
Well, normally it would just barely miss, but right now it's no less than 16.
Gotcha.
Because my AC is 10. Normally. Never make Dex your dump stat.
I had a guy who played for the first time, and he did that. He not only made Con his dump stat, but he also made Dex his dump stat. And like he did it critical, and he actually did like 1 damage. Like, it was absolutely just depressing to see.
That's fantastic.
And that is a natural 1 for that one. Completely goes wide, misses
Yeah.
you. See Rogar go, and he, instead of jumping over, completely just he takes a swing with his axe and busts through the, or with his sword and busts through the fence itself and just kind of pushes through. You guys see he kind of scrapes himself a little bit on it, but then he gets past the fence and is outside the courtyard and against the building.
How dramatic of him.
Violet, your turn. You currently do not have eyes on Rogar from your position.
Okay, so the squares are 5 feet or 10 feet?
5. It's the one
Okay,
with the whole,
good.
the diagonal is it goes 5, 10, 5, 10, 5, 10, 5, 10 as your diagonal moving. So
Okay, so in that big clusterfuck of the assholes.
Yep.
The one that is kind of by himself in the middle.
I'm gonna guess Thug D is who. I'll flash the little circles as you talk.
It'll lag a second, so it'll just like take me a second to see where you're pinging.
I think that's what you're talking about too.
I'm still waiting for it.
Okay.
He looks kind of, yeah, that one.
Okay.
So what does like a 20-foot radius look like approximately around him?
Is it on the target or on a point?
Well, it's on a point, but what if my point was below his feet?
When it says point, it means like on the map, so like where the corners meet on a square. So you could just do it on his. You could pick any square, any point on his box, essentially.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the
But
corner.
like there, but like a 20, whichever, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, 20 feet out. You'd hit pretty much 5,
All of those motherfuckers?
20, 5, 10, 15. Yeah, you'd hit everybody from a 20-foot radius from him.
Cool, beautiful. I am going to bring up a gray deceiver. And so basically, like, my eyes, like, if you see it, they like flash like actual inky, like purpley squid ink black, and this like inky sort of translucent 20-foot circle of like gross mushrooms pops up from the ground, and like every creature like in it and within 10 feet of it has to pass a wisdom saving throw against my spell save DC.
Wisdom saving throw it is. What is your wisdom saving throw?
Good question. I have to go to the other thing because for some reason it doesn't tell me on there.
Sorry, what was that?
16.
16, okay. Give me 1 second.
This is one of my favorite things about my character, guys. I really hope they all don't make it.
All right. 2 of them made it.
2 of them made it. Okay.
Yep.
Well, they're fine, but all of the other motherfuckers are now charmed by this plant, and while charmed this way, they can't see, hear, taste, or smell, and it doesn't recognize the state or the presence of the Grey Deceiver as unusual or worthy of alarm.
Understood. All right. So
That's all I can do. But that pretty much fucks all of them, and the best thing about that is it's not like normal shit when you hit them and they're like, oh, I fuck you now. No. you can just fuck them up.
Gotcha. Let me just read something real quick here.
This is one of my favorite plants in my CS. I rarely use it, but we're pulling out all the stops tonight.
You use it against the what you call them? Acludes. Sorry, Acludes.
Yes, because that was just after we leveled, I'm pretty sure, when I got it, because I only get them at certain levels. But my favorite one is actually the Tanglethorn, but it's not appropriate in this circumstance.
All right. I just wanted to read that through so I understood the wording and everything on there. So it is the effect only happens on your turn when you choose to command it to release the puff of spores.
Yeah, so
And
if I
then-
give it as an action and then do it as a bonus action.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
Then that is your turn. And that one is going to continue to try to shoot at you, Violet, the one that shot at you before. But misses probably with an 8.
Yeah, that misses.
Lyslin, your turn.
Right. Alright, so I've barely got eyes on Bow Twin. Because
Correct.
he's prone and got 3/4.
Mm-hmm.
No eyes on Rogar because he's under the building.
Yep.
So I just see those 2 boys in the courtyard, and then everyone's surrounded by that. Everyone's surrounding that plant, right?
Correct.
I don't like that bow user.
All right. Disadvantage, and he's got a +5 to his AC.
Is it the same guy who you saw previously? That's my question.
You said disadvantage on. Oh wait, actually, sorry, that might not have been clear.
The guy who's been shooting at Violet?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
the one in the
Yeah.
courtyard.
Yeah. Then yeah,
Let's
that's
see.
normal.
So
normal attack.
that's 13 on the first and a 23 on the second.
Both hit.
Uh, 14 piercing and 1 psychic on the first strike. And 14 piercing on the second.
Yeah, so the first arrow catches him in the chest, and because of it being the massive longbow with a heavy arrow, it strikes him in the chest, lifts him off the ground, and as he's flying backwards, the second one strikes him right next to the other one in the heart, and the dude is just down, dead.
You know, Violet, I'm really not sure about this.
Anything else, Leslie?
Yeah. Violet's still in arm's reach, right?
Yes.
Not if we're doing
Don't you
this.
fucking
fine.
touch me. Don't.
He technically doesn't have an action to
And
be able to grab you at the
I'm-
moment.
Right, that's an action in it. No, that's it then. Yeah.
All right. I'm guessing a 9 misses you, Lyslin.
9, absolutely.
Shioran, your turn.
All right. Testing because I added a noise suppressor on my mic. I think it worked pretty well. At least according to the bar. Anyway, so Rogar's over here.
Yeah, he's across the street, kind of like pressed up against the building. You can see each other, but he's mostly hiding from the snipers on the buildings, essentially.
Okay. This is going to probably be a big mistake, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I am going to. How far is he from me?
About 65, 70 feet away.
Too far for me to get close. And he's on the ground floor, right?
Yes, he is on the ground.
Is this a fence or what?
That is just a sidewalk. The
Okay.
fence is the opposite side of that.
Alright, he's too far for me to get close, so instead of what I was thinking, I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, let's Guiding Bolt him instead.
Go for it.
This is my second class ability, Guiding Bolt. Ooh, that's probably not gonna hit. 12?
12 definitely misses. He kind of, as the guiding bolt zips towards him, he presses himself closer to the wall as it zips past and kind of strikes and blows up across the wall to his left. And he looks at it, looks back at you, and just, there's not like a grin or cockiness to him. He's just calculating.
Alright, and then... I'm going to... No, that's a leveled spell. I can't do that. That's all my actions that I can do this turn. So I'm just going to... Yeah, I'm going to stay where I am.
Gotcha.
I had plans for things to do, but Rogar coming in closer makes it, means I need to change. That was also a bit of a challenge, by the way. I dare you to come get me.
So, sure, after you launch that bit of that guiding bolt at him, and you're concentrating on Rogar, there is a sudden blast out of nowhere of just extreme cold that just launches across the street, covering both you and Kaylin, just barely not reaching the two of you on the roof as the street is covered in ice, and there's just this blast of cold and ice that just rockets out from behind the guy that was shooting at you, Lyslin, and the dude himself is caught in the middle of it. I need Shioran and Kaylin both to make Constitution saving throws.
That was definitely a good roll. Total of 21. Plus, I'm also resistant, so.
All right.
That's a dirty 20 for me.
All right.
Mine would quarter it, right?
Correct. I will
Okay.
give you the number, and you can determine your resistances from there.
And which direction did it come from?
Right behind the dude that had the that was shooting at Lyslin.
That's the one that's in the forward?
Yeah, he's the closest one to you.
Okay.
Is it wrong that I really want that dude to be a popsicle now?
All right, 34 points of cold damage. So you would take 8, Shioran. And
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the laugh. That was Titan saying, "Do you want to stab a snowman?"
And Kaylin, you take 17. And quite yes, number 3 is now an ice cube.
You said 8?
Yes, you take 8.
And then Shioran's got that concentration check, right?
Oh, that's right, yeah. And I only
Correct.
took 8 damage, so it would be 10,
So
right?
it's 10, yeah.
Hold on. Didn't the Moonsickle do something with that?
No, it gives you a plus to your spell saves and attacks.
+2 or +1?
Oh, you're talking about? Oh no, yeah, it doesn't do anything to your con saves or anything
Okay,
like that.
I was just double checking. Oh boy, that's not good. Can't remember if it was Sophie who got something special for that or not.
I know Warcaster gets that advantage on concentration checks.
Yeah, Warcaster is about the only thing that gives you that. for concentration saves.
Right. Okay. It's not none of that. So that's going to be a total of 7, which means the coral skin dies.
All right. So yeah, you are used to the cold, but this is freezing cold, and even you're able to resist it. It's still, and it's a bit of a shock to your system as the spell unfortunately fades. Kaylin, you weren't concentrating on anything, were you?
The
No, I was not.
the coral just kind of
God, are you
freezes
telling
over
me
and
that-
shatters.
Yeah, are you telling me that sudden temperature shifts kill coral?
Please save the coral reefs and donate to the funds for that. This is not a joke.
Well, that wasn't what I was expecting.
No. And then this guy, who's one of the 2 people that saved from your spores, runs out of the radius of it and makes an attack on Shioran, since she can't quite reach you yet. 22 to hit you, Shioran.
With a bow.
With a crossbow.
Oh, okay, yeah, that hits me definitely.
And that'll be 4 points of piercing damage.
I'm being whittled down.
These guys are really lowballing damage, but this is adding up quick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But your druid there, your fairy druid, I should say, definitely saved you a few attacks. You see one of them sort of like shake their head as they're coming out of it. But it is at the end of their turn, so.
For now, they are getting out of it.
Unfortunately, you're the only
I
one in
love
their
this
range.
fucking plan.
All right, and then crossbow bolt misses you another Shioran. Back up at the
less
top.
than 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back up at the top of Kale.
Okay. So, I peek around the corner. I'm able to see Rilgar, right?
You'd have to move 5 feet up, and
Yeah.
then you'd be able to see him.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can kind of peek around the corner and see him. If from where you're at, though, because you are kind of just peeking, he does have half cover from you.
Okay. I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers.
So it whispers at him. Okay. What kind of saving throw is that?
Say Wisdom save.
Save. That is going to be a 17.
Oh, damn. Well,
Is
I
it
can
a-
still roll damage. So
Yeah, it's half damage, right?
yeah, it's half damage. Excuse me. Let me see here. Half as much damage as 3d6. 2, 12, 6 damage total. I rolled 12.
All right, you see him kind of twinge at it, but again, he looks, and again, this is like I said, not cockiness. He's just like looking at you, looking at Shior, and calculating where he's going to go next.
Okay, and then I'm going to move back a bit.
All right, how far?
Just a bit further back. I actually kind of want to.
No, when you mean
not-
back, you mean like down?
Yeah, down. Probably about 10 feet or so.
All right.
And let's see here, the range on this. Okay. I'm going to I'm pretty much just going to try to stay a little bit out of the big weapon range at the moment. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I do take a reaction just to yell over to Shioran to come with me.
Come with me if you want to live. Sorry.
Yeah, and then I'll use the rest of my moon to start splitting off to the right down one of those alleys.
Gotcha. You see the bow twin like army crawl to the edge and get full cover behind the ledge that's there. What's your passive, Lifeline?
Passive perception?
Yeah.
19.
Okay. Does a 17 hit you, Violet?
Yeah, 17 hits.
He crawls up back behind the wall and then just quickly pops up and fires a arrow at you before dropping prone again behind the wall.
That's fine. How much damage, though?
I had to get some stuff out of my tray. $28 points of damage.
What? The fuck?
Yeah, it's a sneak attack.
Yeah.
Rogues.
And
God
but
damn.
he is back down behind the full cover of the wall. If you are concentrating on anything, I don't.
Fuck me,
The flowers
okay.
aren't concentration, right?
No, they're not.
All right. So I'm gonna make sure. Tori, are you doing anything?
Yes, I am. Violet. In your
Fuck
mind.
off.
Okay.
What, bitch? What?
I'm sorry. You really got me there. I was trying to be serious. And I'm not a great actor, so I can't just stop laughing on command. Okay. Let me try this.
Have you seen the laugh tracks in movies? Even the greats still laugh their asses off.
I know. Okay. Alright, in your mind, you're going to hear, well, you're not the fairy I was looking for.
I don't even know what to do with that, dude. I'm so in a zone right now. I am okay. That's fine.
And then I will, I'm gonna cast, Chill Touch, since it doesn't originate from me. It originates at the point I choose, so I won't give away my position.
All right.
And I will
I will have you do a sleight of hand to do the casting of it stealthily.
all right. I'll do the roll first. Who can I see? I can't see Rogar, and I can't see the dude that fell, so I guess I'll go for one of the two guys that are out of the circle.
Right or left?
Whichever one looks worse off.
They're both untouched.
Okay, well then, right.
Okay. G it is.
It's a 23 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Okay. And then it will take... Nice. Math. What's math? 15 damage.
Mental abuse towards humans.
Nicely done. So you get that voice in your head, Violet, as you're still concentrating on what's going on. You just got shot with an arrow. It's fucking hurting. You kind of see, Lyson, you more notice that the thug on the right, all of a sudden this ghostly hand comes and grips onto its shoulder. You see him start to writhe in pain as it's holding onto him.
Got a 21 for my sleight of hand.
Someone's casting
And then-
spell. Not sure where it's coming from.
That'll be all for me.
All right.
What does that say? Support your local what? Tori?
Sorry, what?
What does that say? Support your local what?
What am I
Your cup.
looking at?
Your cup
Oh,
says support your local
It says
something.
support your local space princess. It's from a book.
Okay.
Rogar comes booking it around the corner, getting face to face with Kale.
Quick question about that. He said he used the rest of his movement to go towards the alley.
He said 10 feet down. That's all he told me.
And then at the end of his
I
turn,
remember
he
him saying that
Yeah.
near the end of his turn.
use the rest of his
okay.
movement towards the alley.
It's 5, 15, so he had 15.
Alright.
Still gets there with the rest of his movement. But that is his action to do that.
Fucking cum bag.
Violet, your turn.
Okay. That ruins everything I wanted to do. So, fuck it.
He didn't attack or anything?
He didn't, no. He'd use his action to dash towards him.
Ah.
So we probably just saved Kale's life for a turn.
Okay. Okay. Alright. Kale, I swear to God, I'm about to save your fucking ass. Okay, I am gonna put... oh, fuck. Okay, I'm gonna do a witch's wicker, just behind Kale, and if I can, around Shorin as much as I can. And so that's, a 5-foot diameter cylinder up to 30 feet long. Ordinarily, creatures cannot climb the wicker, and must spend 4 feet of movement for each foot they move through the wicker's space. When a creature comes in contact with the wicker, while I'm within 120 feet of this, I can choose to have the wicker assist the creature, allowing the creature to then climb the wicker's surface as if under the effects of the spider walk spell, and to move through the wicker's space unimpeded. So I'm going to make that appear right behind Kale, but then it's going to trigger my unaliving efflorescence enlivening efflorescence, which means that when I sprout a magical unliving, when I sprout a magical plant using my wild seed feature, I can choose a number of creatures within 10 feet of the plant up to a number equal to my wisdom modifier. So I think I can only do Shioran and Kale, but it means that you are granted a bonus 10 feet of walking speed until the end of your turn. No, until the end of my turn. And you gain this speed, which is now. You can immediately use your reaction to move up to its speed without triggering opportunity attacks. So, Kale, get the fuck up the wicker.
I'm gonna do that.
So basically, you're making it so that we can climb up to the roof?
No, I'm just climbing over the damn thing.
No. So it's like a wall between you and these fuckers as best as I can. And you guys are able to climb the wicker, although Shioran, you won't have to because it'll be around you. But you're able to climb the wicker without being impeded because I'm within 120 feet of the plant. And then, yeah, so there you go. And then as my bonus action, the mushrooms are gonna puff again. So everybody within 10 feet of the mushrooms has to make a wisdom saving throw once again, or be charmed.
Now, so let me just read something.
That was a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So the witch's wicker is my action, but doing that action automatically triggers the enlivening efflorescence.
Yep.
So then my bonus action is the puff of mushroom spores.
Okay, so how long is it?
Strategy. It's 30 feet.
30 feet long and not a radius, just 30 feet?
Yeah, it's 30 feet long. It can curve, it can wind, it can do all of that. It's
okay. So
basically
it's like a
vines. Yeah.
Alright.
Essentially, I'm trying to curve it around as much as I can. Bitches can't get you.
5 feet wide?
Yes.
So like...
I'm proud of that one,
straight like
I'm not
that?
gonna lie.
No.
I can't see it for a second. You're gonna have to wait, because the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're growing
essentially,
it
yeah.
along the road.
Yes. I'm trying to get Kale away from this motherfucker, and this motherfucker is gonna have to, like, use more to climb up it or go around it.
All right.
And then we get the ability to move 10 feet as a reaction, right?
You can move your...
No, you gain a bonus 10
movements.
feet, and you can move your whole movement.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When a creature gains the speed, it can immediately use its reaction up to its speed without triggering opportunity attacks, which includes the 10 feet.
So
if you can move 30 feet, you can move 40 feet. So move.
Yeah.
So, just for the sake of Shioran's part of this, it can only grow in unoccupied space, so you'd have to move it either 5 feet in front of her or 5 feet behind her. The very end of it.
Yeah. So it's got a curve around. Which if you do behind her, it's not that bad. It's fine. Like, but it can go in front of her as well. It's whichever.
That's up to you where you would want it to be. Do you want it to be blocking her vision, or do you want it to be behind her?
I mean, put it behind her because she can also, and she's unimpeded, so she just moves through 5 feet of wicker. Like, it's 5 feet.
Are you both choosing?
Although
to use your
Rogar is
reactions?
fucking impeded.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, I am.
Alright.
And I'm moving my full movement away from that shit.
Like,
You're just
Oh
moving
my
straight
God.
40 feet away.
I've got to.
curve around like that.
Yeah, I gotta. Well, I've got to. I don't have much in the way to move, but I'm gonna I guess this down this alley, because I gotta.
Gotta
Got
give
a
me
plan.
gotta give you a direction. This doesn't help me.
I'm gonna move towards. I'm gonna move closer to the.
East. He wants
Yeah,
to go east.
east.
You said they get 10 extra feet of movement for your efflorescence?
Yeah, so if it's 30 feet, then it's 40 feet.
Gotcha. So yeah, Kale
Yeah.
just immediately backs up as he feels this like burst of movement, and it's kind of like Homer backing up into the hedge. He just kind of like vanishes
Yeah.
into it, and then it's just gone.
I was thinking that some vine just grabs me by my belt and just pulls me.
And it just like moves around him and grabs him and pulls him in. You feel no impediment to your movement at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna move back 40 feet that way as well. East as well.
All right.
Since my
And the wisdom saving throws.
Yeah, only one of them actually. Hold on.
since my
So it's within 10 feet of the 20.
Yep. So
So it effectively
F
30
has to
feet.
make it. F has to make it, but G is just outside of it. And then so it's
Okay.
just F and B.
Well, fuck that guy.
F and B have to make it because B, he shook it off, but he hasn't had a turn to do it again to move, so he has to make the save again. The rest of them are still in the stupor.
Please fail. I have never wanted you to fail more in your life.
Both of them failed.
hooray!
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Sometimes it's okay to celebrate your friends' failures.
Especially when that means you don't die quicker.
I'm not here to try to kill you guys. I'm here to have you guys having fun, and that's all I care about.
By the way,
so-
Sparabelle, thank you for the raid. I don't know if anyone said that.
Oh, there was a raid. I am so sorry for
Yeah.
not noticing
Thank
that.
you so much for the
Thank you
raid.
for
That's
the
a lot
raid.
of people.
Much
Well,
That is a
except for
lot of
Air,
people. Holy
'cause
crap.
She enjoys dying.
So yeah, a couple of the other people in the spores continue to just be like.
That's a
as they're
record for
just
number
kinda
of
sitting
people.
there. Lyslin, it is your turn at the moment. You have eyes
I've got
on
eyes on
Rogar.
Rogar, right? Yeah.
Shoot him in the knee.
Violet is
How
so
tall is
useful,
the
by
building
way.
that we're on again?
Sorry, what?
How tall is the building we're on again?
2 stories.
Okay, so about
20 feet up.
30 feet.
20, 25, 30, yeah.
Okay. Hold just a second while I flip a coin.
Gotta make a decision.
Can we do a quick break soon? The pregnant lady's gotta pee real good.
Yeah, once Lesson's done with this turn, we will take a break before Shioran ends, which Shioran, you're on deck.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So, Lyslin is just gonna quickly sidle right past Violet, run down the building using his amazing climbing speed as a horse.
See, it's more like parkour than climbing, but sure.
I think I
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
I kind of give it
You
more
have
like
to yell
Skyrim.
parkour.
If he
every
doesn't say
time.
parkour, it's not parkour.
It's
You
parkour.
can't climb if you don't say
Excuse me?
parkour.
Parkour.
All right, so yeah, that'll run me down. If I remember right, it's about 35 feet total, sidling past Violet and then down.
10. You'd be 40 down because it's 5'10" to get to
Okay.
the edge and there.
Still perfectly within my movement.
Dio walks down the wall.
I'm gonna move the last 10 feet of mine towards Kale. And I'm going to yell over to Shioran, "Get over here! You're leaving!" And I'm going to hold my action
I'm
to
leaving.
cast Longstrider when Shioran gets over to me and casting it on both Kale and Shioran.
Gotcha. Because you're casting it at a higher level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second level's all I got.
All right, we will take a. We'll just do 15. Should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we will be back in at the quarter of the hour, and we'll start back up with Sharon's turn.
All right. Let me just move this. All right. Hello, Raiders. How are you all doing? My name is Antelieris, and I stream normally video games, but on Fridays I stream D&D with my friends here. And this has been a bit of a crazy
Raiders?
fight.
Hope you're enjoying our chaos.
We are
And
kind of chaotic.
And if you are invested in seeing more chaos, please follow us.
Yes, follows are nice. Thank you if you do. I'm gonna go ahead and take a bit of a bathroom break too. Oh, and if you have channel points, don't feel like you don't have to redeem them in the options below. That was a very bad way to phrase that, but you know what I mean.
What he basically means is feel free to annoy us at your leisure.
I am back. And now I've got to figure out what I'm going to do this turn.
Well, I'd like to think that Shioran
Wow.
can see Lyceland's hands kind of glowing, currently perched pat Kale on the back, and he told you to come to him, so...
You said, you're getting out of here, right?
Yep. Yeah, I said, get over to me, you're getting out of here.
The coin flip has decided.
So the biggest problem is, I took off Ice Knife in order to be able to speak with animals and cast Animal Messenger and stuff. So my main ranged attack is not accessible right now, which would have been super helpful if we'd had been able to get a rest before we decided to go after them. But we'll handle it. Are you enjoying being invisible, Tori?
I'm not invisible. You guys just haven't noticed me yet. There's a good
Ensconced
reason
with
you
Hans.
haven't noticed me. What?
Ensconced with Hans, Titan said. Looking for the spelling of that for over 20 minutes now. I think you did it right.
How are you doing health-wise, Shioran?
I'm about halfway.
Oh, really? Nice. I feel like you've gotten hit so many times.
Yeah.
I think the big one, health-wise, is currently Violet, because she took that
Yeah,
sneak
Violet.
attack.
Oh, yeah, that sneak attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's Violet, then me, and then Shioran.
I've been whittled down. That's all it was. I
Yeah.
like, even the big ice attack didn't affect me like it. They probably thought it would. Only thing it did was cause me a little bit of damage and cause me to lose concentration on my my spell.
I mean, that is a pretty good side effect for them.
Mm-hmm. There you go. I wanted that to be in the quote database.
Great tweet, yeah.
Just remember, if you find anything funny or memorable, you can always just add it to the quote database like this. I just realized I muted myself because I'm crunching.
I have that same sort of issue, except for I just can't minimize the windows. As long as they're like up in some form or fashion, they're fine. I just can't minimize them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they hate me.
For reference, since I was muted on stream, what I said was that I have to keep the Roll20 page. I have so many windows, but I have to make sure to keep the Roll20 page open, because if I don't, it doesn't update on stream. And if I have to make sure the Discord. Ooh, I never full screened it. Oops, that's why I had to resize it. I have to make sure the Discord chat window, pop-out window, that's captured right here. That's captured on the screen. Is at least visible, because for some reason, if it's underneath another window, it won't. It'll freeze as well. But yeah, you have something like that too. Except you can't minimize.
Yeah, just can't minimize it. It's fine as long as it's up, but as soon as I minimize it, it's an issue. I am so proud of my Witch's Wicker Moon. I just saved your ass, Kale. Like, I'm just, I saved the cleric. I feel like I should get the honorary heal, right?
Yeah. No. Yep. But everyone gets an honorary heal. But you got the honorary heal first.
Do clerics count as a melee class?
We have as a please dear God don't fucking kill me class.
Yeah.
I
was like, I don't know, like, what to do with the Witch's Wicker, and then like he fucked off. He like came up like right beside you, and I was like, okay, I understand the assignment now.
Yeah.
And then like I have features sometimes that I have never read before, and then so I looked at that enlivening whatchamacallit thing, effervescence or whatever, and I was like, I've never used this before. Like, I could have used this before, but I didn't use it. Let's fuck with this.
Well, thank you for finding out about that now. Because
You're welcome.
starting to wonder how I'm going to roleplay fucking dying again this time, so.
But, what I was getting at is, we don't have any real melee characters. Even my fighter is mainly a means to an end rather than actual thing.
I'm, like, invested in staying away from combat because of this.
Yeah. I hope that your new character is a melee character, but I already have a feeling it's not.
It's not.
I should have said something about that earlier.
I was gonna play a paladin, but the backstory was very dark that I created, and I didn't want to have to get in that headspace every time we played. I didn't think it'd be good for me. Not right now, anyways. One day.
My last character I played has a pretty dark backstory, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing it with Kale.
Yeah, I don't. I was like, I don't think I'm in a good place mentally to do this, so I'm just gonna go with a light, fun-hearted character.
When you died this
endorse
time, you
that.
should have broken out in a long, melodramatic Shakespearean monologue. That does sound like Kale.
You are also grossly overestimating my improv ability.
What are you talking about, improv?
That.
I have a prepared statement, I guess, that I've just started writing.
Yeah. I'm not, like, Violet is not looking good.
That's okay. I've got special
I don't know
healing
about you
abilities
guys.
No, I'll give you some heals.
now. Yeah.
I kind of vaguely know what I want to do for the next couple of rounds, but we need to immobilize that spellcaster.
Yeah, the one we don't know.
I'm
where
concerned
they
about
are.
the fact that he must have used greater invisibility to not have revealed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, and personally speaking, I think
Right.
that was a cone of cold, which is like way stronger than us right now.
Yes, this is what I'm also worried about.
Yeah.
But
To be fair,
I also don't have any.
Well, we knew they were way more powerful than us, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we
At
needed
this
to
point-
get out.
at this point, we're either gonna have to take them out or like get out of town, and Shioran's not willing to get out of town at the moment.
Well, really, there's like, what, 4 of them that are an issue because the rest of them are fucked up with the mushrooms.
All right.
Oh, look, they
And that would have been
disabled the
all well
left
and good if we had had more spell slots.
Yeah. Would have been better if we'd gotten a good night's sleep.
That's not
I'm still
happening
sitting
tonight.
pretty.
Because I could have,
Right.
well, I could have swapped out for Ice Knife and done a whole bunch of damage to all those people back there, and just probably taken them out of the picture.
Unfortunately, the hand that was dealt.
Yep.
And we will continue from there with Shioran's turn.
Right, I was supposed to decide what I was gonna do. Okay, so Shioran sees Lyslin hold out his hand. You're getting out of here, and she looks at Rogar, and can I cast spells through the wicker thingy?
Depends on the
Well,
spell.
not like through it, but it's 5 foot. Like, as long as you're taller than 5 feet, you can see over it. So.
Yeah, you can see Rogar's head, and he can see you guys, since he himself is well over 6 feet. But even with that, because it's a smaller target, he does have 3/4 cover from if you're doing an attack.
Right. So, can I see Violet from here?
Yes. She's not really hiding. She's on top of the roof at the corner, so yeah, you can
Alright.
see her.
Double checking something. Yeah. I'm going to... Okay, I'm going to... Sorry, I'm just going through different scenarios in my head. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and cast.
You did remember what Lyslin said his last turn, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Grabbing his hand would be a free action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm going to go ahead and cast Healing Spirit up where Violet is.
All right.
So, whenever you or a creature moves into this for the first time on a turn, or starts its turn there, so would that count as moving in?
So they would have to start their turn there.
Well,
so if you
moves
put it
into
on
the space or starts the turn.
Yeah, so you'd have to
First
you'd
time
cast,
on the turn.
You'd cast it on her, and then at the beginning of her turn, then you could use the healing.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I didn't have my sickle out, so that would just be the spell itself. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab his hand as a... No, I still have an action. I'm sorry. I'm going to cast Frostbite on Rogar, which is a con save of 15.
Con save it is.
I'm pretty sure he has a good constitution, but still.
17 for his con save.
Okay. Pretty sure that means it does not do anything.
You see the frost start to, like, crust over his armor. He just kind of, like, flexes through it.
It's got high resilience.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That just gave me a really good, really funny mental image of him just, like, cartoon flexing and suddenly shards of ice going everywhere.
All I got is Destiny 2 vibes.
But then I'm going to go ahead and grab Lyslin's hand.
All right.
All right, yeah. So with Shiorn getting over, Lyslin just kind of like brings his hand down on both of them, and both of you for the next hour, non-concentration, have the Long Strider spell, so your movement is increased by 10 feet. Please get the fuck out.
What about you two?
So with that, you still have 20 feet of movement left, Shiorn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Shiorn's gonna... Well, I used my free action, so I can't ask, can I? No?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up. I guess, hold on, how much is there? 20 feet is... Yeah, pretty much go ahead and back up 20 more feet.
All right.
I think it's 60 feet, that should be fine. Yeah, 60 feet.
All right. And... Is that it for your turn, Shiorn?
Yeah. Pretty much all I can do at the moment.
So from
Man, I feel so bad
this-
having left Becky on the roof.
From this ping here, once you see that, everybody, a
I don't see a
streak.
thing.
It should be showing up soon on the stream.
You might still be on the measuring tool, which doesn't ping.
There it
you
goes, it just started. Okay.
So right there, sorry, that was on the wrong layer. From there, a small bead of light launches towards the corner of the building where Violet is, and then erupts in a giant ball of fire. And I need Violet, since you guys are 30 feet down, to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh boy, and this does a lot of damage.
Right.
So glad Becky's on the other roof.
What is my attack? Not
Uh,
the best. 18.
18. Okay, you do make it, so you take half damage. Tori, how close were you to where they were?
I'm not sure. Probably pretty close, but far enough away so they don't notice me.
Do you think you'd be within 20 feet of her?
I'll say yeah.
All right, so dex save for you as well.
Okay. Let's not say. Ooh, that's not great. Okay, 16.
16, okay. So 34. Sorry, what was yours again, Tori?
16.
16, you make it. So 34 points of fire damage, halved to 17 points of fire damage.
Guys,
You down?
do I get 17 too? I'm down.
17 brought you down?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's an eruption of fire, and you hear a small yelp of pain, and then you lose sight of Violet as she drops below the kind of the small little lip at the top of the building. So she's down, you can guess, but can't quite see where she's at the moment.
It's okay.
Good thing she's still in that spirit, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good thing the spirit can't be hurt.
Speaking of which, for people who don't know, the flavoring for that spirit is that it's a mermaid swimming around in that area. A constellation of a mermaid.
Just reminds me of that new TikTok sound that's like, Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. That's all I can think.
I like how Sky says hearing the DM from roll dice from the other room is scary.
Mhm.
We could really use Sky.
Just reading something real quick here.
I was gonna
Is
say
fire.
your fire resistant sorcerer who can cast a bunch of spells would be so
Guys,
nice
we'll
right
be
now.
fine.
Sorry, not only that, but he's still got most of his spells left, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He has, I think, almost all of it. Yeah, he's only used one first level.
All right.
Oh god, what is the moss going to say about this? I just realized.
It's fine, you're killing criminals, right?
You were just defending your friends.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't even expecting to get into this fight.
I don't mind taking credit for being the bad influence here.
I'm winning us so much money right now.
You're just gambling.
Shioran, does a 11 hit you?
Yes.
All right, so that was a disadvantage, and Bolt is coming for you
Ouch.
for 12 points of piercing damage. So as you are running, all of a sudden, you feel it in your back.
Yeah, I'm looking pretty bad now.
Back up the top, Kaylin.
Okay. Well, time for Heals Man to do some heals.
We really need someone to, like, buffer.
I'm going to reach out towards Shioran and cast a second level healing word towards her.
All right. Roll your healing.
9 damage.
All right, so you are healed by 9.
Yes, and I'm going to use my action and my movement to just say, "Hey, we gotta book it," and use all my movement and my dash to get back as far as I can down the alley. Probably gonna end up taking a left when I'm down there. Because I don't want him to cut me off on the run. I'm gonna go left.
So you're gonna use your full 80?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you heal her, say that, and then book it around the corner.
How much was the heal?
9.
9. Okay. D&D Beyond, stop. There we go. Every time I hit the 9 button, for some reason it just canceled out the HP management thing.
18 to hit you, Shioran.
18 hits me, yeah.
And is your spirit concentration, by the way?
It is, actually, now that I remember.
Roll a concentration for that the crossbow that just hit you.
That's a 14 plus
You're fine.
6. Or excuse me, plus 3.
Uh, 25 points of damage as an arrow from the rooftop from the bow twin sprouts from your side.
Well, I'm down.
Who then drops below the...
And the healing goes away for Violet.
Correct. Tori.
Oh yeah, it's my turn. Great. Let's see. I can't see the dude who like fireballed me, right?
Correct.
He's
that
invisible.
You're just seeing these spells kind of let off. You saw the mote of fire and the cone of cold come from the same area, but you don't see anyone.
Can I see Rogar? I can't really see the moon.
If you move to the edge of the roof, yeah, you'd be able to see him.
I guess I will.
All right. No one's up there to see you, so.
Yeah, I'll cast Chill Touch again just because I don't want him to know where I am.
All right. Just roll a sleight of hand for me.
Okay. That's for that, and this is for sleight of hand. Okay, I didn't roll bad. The sleight of hand is an 18.
All right. So you are hidden, which would give you advantage on your spell attack.
Okay. Oh, take the first roll. That is a 22 to hit.
Definitely hits.
All right. Takes not very much damage. 8.
8 damage. Gotcha.
Oh, I did want to add, because last time I was distracted. Instead of like a hand, I do want it to be a tentacle, a ghostly tentacle.
Okay.
That, like wraps around him.
Gotcha. A ghostly tentacle then wraps around Rogar, is kind of like wrapping around his arm, and he looks at it and is like kind of looking around, trying to figure out where it's coming from. But
And I'll just duck back down and back up a little.
yep, it's probably you'd probably be able to get back to where you were with your movement. So, and again, Lysa, you're seeing this spell casting coming from somewhere.
And that's all I'll do. My turn.
Rogar confused, but is determined on his path. Is going to look at you, Lyslin, doesn't say a word, and then turns to the building and uses his action to dash to climb up the building. And gets on top of there. He can't do anything with his action, but he is there.
Him clambering up, attack of opportunity, possible?
He wasn't within 5 feet of you.
Right,
He was at 10 feet.
It
Violet.
curse me for leaving my glaive at home.
Violet, you can make a death saving throw for me and send me what you roll. Don't say it.
Secrets.
See, I'm feeling like I'm channeling a little bit of Matt when the whole thing in episode 26 happened. Like, I could tell the shaking he had when it happened, and I'm kind of getting that myself right now.
I had that once before. Interesting feeling.
So Rogar is now on our roof, right?
Yes.
Great.
Lyslin, it is your turn.
Okay, and I see Shiorn down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you do. And you know from the scream or whatever that most likely Violet is down as well.
I'm confident that I'm fast.
Okay.
Alright, instead of using Long Strider on myself and Violet as my initial plan was going to be, I think this situation could only be improved with more bees.
Bees it is.
So I bonus action some bees. And as part of the summoning action, I direct a swarm onto Shiorn.
All right. D4 plus
Motherfucker. Shiorn, 4 hit points.
I get 4 hit points. Yay.
Yep. You are conscious at 4. So that is your bonus action.
Correct. I will then park horse up the building.
Park horse.
That's a great one.
All right. You see him up there, poised with his spear at her neck.
Okay, so that was you said 30 to get up there?
Yeah. And with your passive, and because you're not stealthing anymore, you see a cat on this on the roof with you. It's just kind of off to your side of your vision. You don't really register. You register that it's there, but it's like there's a cat up there. Okay, cool.
A cat that hasn't run away.
All right. 10 feet to get within range of Violet, if I remember right, because diagonals.
Correct.
Would picking her up be a grapple check or an action?
It wouldn't be. It would still be an action, but it wouldn't like contest anything. No.
Okay, because like I'm just thinking, grapple check allows you to, switch one of your attacks for a grapple.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking, if it's that, that's better. If not,
I'd say yeah, makes sense.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna grapple Violet.
All right. Still in the space, but you now have a hold of her.
And I'm going to kick at Rogar.
All right. Make an attack.
My kick brings it to an 18.
18. So as you go to kick, he brings up his shield that he has and blocks the kick with it and uses his reaction to parry.
Perfectly fine. I will then go ahead and utilize the wonderful thing called Mobile, because I've made a melee attack against Rogar. I
He's
do
also
not
just used his
provoke
reaction
opportunity
too.
attack. Yeah. And
yeah.
I'm gonna take Violet, whatever much of my movement I've got left, and go a little farther away.
Do you want to try to go jump off the roof, or do you want to go back along the roof?
God, that's a good question, because I'm like, could I take 3d6 fall damage with that rogue right over there?
Is what's your speed right now? Your total speed right now?
I have 55.
55.
Walking.
So you've got 15 left.
I'll drag her over the edge with me, run down as much as I can, and then just fall the rest.
All right. So yeah, that'll be a dexterity saving throw. I will say at disadvantage as you are trying to hold her and protect her, obviously, from the fall.
All right, wonderful. So it cocked once on a 3, and then it cocked again on a 2, and so then finally it didn't cock on a natural 3, bringing it to a total of 10.
10, which is just enough, because with the way that I use falling rules and dexterity saving throws is for every 10 you make on the saving throw, you minus out 10 feet of damage, essentially. So obviously, like if you're really dexterous, you can try to save yourself from 20 feet of damage. But if you're falling more than 20 feet, that's still gonna hurt, even if you're good at falling, unless you're a fucking monk.
Soon.
Shut up. I don't need you any more mobile than you already are. All right, but yeah, Lyson, you have a hold of Violet, and you are off the roof, and Rogar, you distracted him long enough with the kick to his shield that you were able to get away from him without him being able to attack. Shioran, it is your turn.
Alright.
Half movement to stand up if you would like.
Do I still have Long Strider?
Yes,
Yep.
it is not a concentration, so it just lasts for the hour.
Okay, and that gives me what?
10 extra
10
feet.
extra
of
feet.
movement.
10 extra feet.
Yeah, so
So
that's
it'd be-
20 to stand. You still got 20, and if you want to use your action.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
Shut the fuck up, Titan.
Trying to remember which
Just read
one
that.
it is. Okay, so as a bonus action, I'm going to Healing Word Violet. Is she in my?
Let me just.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's not in my
you
vision.
do. You can just barely see her. So let me see. And what's the
I
range
just
on
did-
Healing Word?
Healing Word 60. That's a good point.
She is within range.
Okay. Yeah, so Healing Word her. I'm going to do it at second level.
All right.
That's 2d4 plus 3. Oh, that's not a great roll, but 6 total healing.
Violet, you are up at 6. You shock back to wake in Lifelin's arms.
He's not carrying you very gently either. He's currently got you by the legs, and you're basically upside down.
Okay.
And I don't have a bonus action cantrip. So the only thing I can really do at this point is honestly get out of here and hope that you're following. I have 20.
So you're gonna move 20 feet.
Yeah, 20 feet. I'm gonna free action shout. Let's go! This was a bad idea anyway.
All right.
Healing Word's a bonus action, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Oh wait, that was a bonus
You
action.
could action dash if you would like.
My bad. For some reason I was thinking that was an action. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I'll action dash behind Kalen. Around Kalen.
All right. All right, you get there. Do 40.
So hopefully you guys can survive this and get around.
If Violet wants to stay, she's got to grapple me, so...
See this little fairy suplex a centaur?
That'd be beautiful.
Drinks the potion of stone giant strength just to pass it.
All right. So, Lyslin, as you get down, kind of getting ready to do whatever you're going to do, and to your left you see suddenly a flash of 6 bright darts zoom out of seeming nothing and come arching towards you and Violet, with 3 of them heading at you and 3 of them heading at Violet.
Fuck.
I'm sorry, 3 what?
Makes my job easier.
Magic missile.
Violet, you take 10 points.
I'm down again.
And Lysan, you also take 10 points of force damage.
Got it.
Well, I tried like twice.
Was that over how many darts, so I know how many con checks to make?
Oh, it is you got hit 3 times.
Okay. Uh, 16, 10, and 13, so I continue to concentrate on my bees.
Gotcha. Let's see here. How much health did you have, Violet, by the way?
She had 6.
6. So you would be at 1 death saving throw failed. Because it would have been 1, 2, 3. And the second one would have dropped you, and then the third one hitting you for that.
Just don't nat 1 on your turn.
Don't fucking put it past me. You'll never believe what I fucking rolled before.
Fucking ants.
These dice are going straight into fucking dice jail.
You can't be thinking you can't tell me you didn't think it too.
A 11 to hit you, Lyslin.
Miss. 15.
And even less to hit you with that guy. And even the guy who's close misses you. Kaylin, your turn. Are you just running?
Are you still muted?
Shit. Okay.
Great.
It's the most Kalen shit I've ever said in my life. Shit. I'm going to, yeah, but as I keep running, I'm going to grab onto Shior's hand, and as I do, you see this white radiant energy come out of my hands as I cast Cure Wounds. Because she looks fucked up, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's at 4 HP.
Yeah, I am casting a Cure Wounds on her at 2nd level.
Go for it. 2d8 plus your spell bod.
Oh my god. 5. 2 ones.
Unfortunately.
That's still better than 0.
Yep. And then are you moving your rest of your 40?
Yeah.
Just continue and go.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the option to realize that you will end your 40 in the open between the 2 buildings. Do you want to stay at the corner, or do you want to take your full 40?
Stay at the corner.
All right.
And I'm going to look back and see if there's anyone following me, so I could influence my decision on the next turn.
Gotcha. You behind you, like towards Shiord?
Like towards the alley. I'm expecting Lyson to come barreling through there any moment now.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Same. That's what Shioran's expecting.
Oh boy.
She knows he's fast.
24 to hit you, Lyslin.
Hits.
$28 points of piercing damage from the bow guy who continues to pop up and drop back down.
Natural 18 on the con check.
All right.
By the way, just saying, I now hate Rogar less than I hate that guy.
That would be Tori's turn. You see
Since I see
big half dragon
everybody else
man.
leaving, and everyone is leaving, I guess I'll leave too.
All right. So you just kind of.
I'll launch myself off the back of the building. Because how much is the fall?
30 feet.
Okay, so I'll still take a little bit of fall damage, but I'm
You
just gonna launch
you
myself
can
off
make
the
a
back.
dex save to avoid some of the damage.
Yeah, and I also like automatically don't take 10 feet.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, as long as you make at least 20, you shouldn't take any damage.
Let's see. My dex save isn't that good. Oh, that's a natural 20.
There you go. So natural 20, we'll just give it to you. You take it down, and we got you easily. You're able to and just land.
Yeah, and I'll just use my full movement and dash to just get out of town.
Are you going towards like where the other two are going, or are you going in a different direction?
I'm going in a different direction.
All right. Kale. So
Okay.
you are at the corner. You stop at the corner, about ready to look. You look back to see if someone is following behind you, and you just see this cat launch itself off the back of the building where Violet and Lyslin were on, and then just takes off into town. That's all you see. Just see catch launch off.
That moment, I understood that cat perfectly. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
All right. Rogar jumps off the roof. That takes. So you see him land, and he does go down to one knee as he does take some damage from the fall, but he comes up with a slash at you. He comes in with his spear. For a 23 to hit.
Hits.
I keep forgetting I need to be on the Chrome tab if I want it to actually show up on stream.
On hit, bees go away because I rolled a nat 1.
So 18 points of piercing damage. 15 to hit you.
Meets it, beats it.
$11 points of piercing damage.
Oh, yikes.
Oh boy.
And 14 for the third hit.
Fuck.
Melee failure, 2 fails.
All right. So, because the 14 doesn't hit you, right? The 15 did, though.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. And yes, he is then there. That is his attacks. Gotcha. Violet, death saving throw for me, please. And yeah, send it to me. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me.
That was a great reaction for the secretive roll.
I'm sorry, I'm pregnant.
Oh shit. Alright, so Lyslin, as you are currently trying to defend yourself against Rogar, one of the shocks of the hit kind of knocks you to one side, kind of jostling Violet, and you feel her just limp. And as you do, you just kind of feel the final just breath just out of her. And you don't sense any life coming from her. Lyslin, your turn.
All right. Rogar's attack brought me down, so I must death save.
Oh, you're down? Oh shit, I didn't realize that.
Natural 20.
All right. So you are able to push yourself back up at 1 HP. And you are up. And this is when you realize that Violet's body, who's now laying next to you as you kind of dropped her, is she is passed. You kind of like come to consciousness looking at her, and you kind of just, her eyes are just staring at you.
Congratulations, Dragon Man. You've done it again.
As he's standing over you before you do your thing, he says, "Trust me, I'm gonna make it keep this time. Just like I did to the other fairy."
All right. So,
At least we don't
1
have to do
HP,
that
right?
heist now, guys.
I do.
All right. What do you want to do for your turn, Leslie? Because that natural 20 happens at the beginning of your turn, so you still have your entire turn.
Right. I am going to not even care if I hit, but I'm just going to go ahead and punch towards Rogar.
Go for it. Make an attack.
Natural 14 for a 20 total.
It hits.
Oh, wait. I'm technically prone, right?
Yes, so disadvantage, yep.
Then a 10.
That one misses. He's able to just
All
kind
right.
of whack it away with his shield, not having to use his reaction, but you're still
Sure
with
thing,
your
sure
mobile.
thing. With that, can I grapple Violet's dead body?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Half my movement to stand up. Half
this
of
point-
55. Would you?
At this point, she's an object, so you can use your free action to grab her. Sorry.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
I don't know if we should call that rude or not.
And that was not a objectifying like joke. It was
masculinity.
I realized after I said it that that's how it could be taken, but I meant more in the D&D sense.
He is thick in here.
Okay, but yeah, half of 55. Would you round that to 20 or 25? Rather, 25 or 30.
He's rounding down.
Okay, so 25 then. That still leaves me with 30 fucking feet of movement, and he can't opportunity attack me.
Correct.
So I'm taking the dead fairy and moving. Let's see. Right down there.
Sorry, I didn't see the ping.
Right, sorry.
Gotcha. Understood. Anything else?
Drinking a potion, bonus action, right?
Correct.
Now let's just see if I've got it.
Merrick, you leave him
Nope,
alone for 5
none,
minutes.
so I'm good.
Or 2 of us die.
What was that?
I said, Merrick, you leave him alone for 5 minutes.
Right? And they just repeat past mistakes.
Just saying, I explicitly warned against this.
Shioran, your turn. Unfortunately, you can't see anything that's going on, but you do still hear fighting at the very least.
Yeah, Horseman hasn't come around the corner.
Correct.
God, I don't even know what to do at the moment. Shioran's torn between...
Actually, wait. One last thing.
Mhm.
Since I didn't have to use my second attack to grapple Violet, can I go ahead and make another hoof on Rogar?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, Shioran. Go ahead.
So Shioran is worried because she doesn't think abandoning her allies would be a good idea, but at the same time, one of those allies is a reason they're in this mess. This is really like a major issue for her. Lyslin himself, she would rather not die because he's sensible and nice and doesn't deserve that.
That was you.
Air would think otherwise, is what I was literally about to say.
Disrespecting my memory.
I mean, he makes mistakes, sure.
Dude tried to kill me.
Anyway,
You call that
continue.
a mistake.
Air's haunting you at the moment.
Yeah, you hear that in your mind. Air's dead ghost is pissed at you, Shioran.
Is what? Air's dead ghost is what?
Pissed at you.
Pissed at you.
Pissed at you. Okay. I thought I heard pissing you, and I'm like, what? Okay, okay. So I gotta figure out. Fuck. I really don't know what to do at this point.
Just remember Licen's last words to you.
I'm getting out of
Fine.
here.
Yeah.
You're getting out of there.
All right. I assume Kale is not too bad looking. In the
I'm hurt, but I'm. You also see a cloak on my back.
a cloak.
Yeah, I had that cloak. It was cloak of invisibility, right?
Right.
What?
No, wrong session. I just got a different cloak in the other game.
I was about to say, you do not have a cloak of invisibility.
That's right.
Man, that would have been
Damn it.
wonderful. Why ain't you using that
Damn
shit?
it. I just
Yeah,
thought.
no.
I just remembered. It's not a cloak of invisibility. It's a cloak that changes. Yeah.
I was wondering,
Yeah.
like, where did that come from?
You're right. You're right.
Random legendary
Shit.
items.
You've been planning on using that, haven't you?
I've been working a lot this week, guys. Okay.
No, you're good. You're good.
It's been
That's
a real shit week. So
fine. No worries.
Um,
I get things jumbled as well.
I can't really help. Only thing I could do is heal, and that's only if I see him.
Yep.
So she's going to free action, look at Kale and say, "I hate to say this, but I think we need to get out of here."
okay, on 3.
So she's going to healing word. No. I can cure wounds myself at level 2 for 2d8 rather than 2d4. Just in case, because this is... yeah, that's a d4. Okay.
You're healing word in Kale, you said?
No, myself, because Kale
For
is
yourself. Okay.
he's hurt, but I'm still at 9.
Gotcha.
I will pull out my sickle so that... No, I used a free action to talk to him.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, not bad. Could be better, but that's not bad. Plus 3...
Wouldn't you have your sickle out already since you've been in battle?
No,
Oh, you had your trident out, that's right.
Yeah, I had the trident. I mean, the trident's one-handed, but I don't pull out the sickle unless I can do it like a... Because I can do it once as a free action. I don't really pull the sickle out unless I have to heal or something.
Gotcha.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that's bad because I can also gain extra attack on that. So next battle, I guess, assuming
If we make it.
yeah. But
Never
that's
play with fairies, people.
9, 10, 11, 12. I regain 12 hit points.
All right.
Me and Vendetta just like to really fuck things up.
Yeah, we noticed.
Just
You don't
saying.
mean to.
The
Well,
thought
I don't
crossed
mean
my
to.
head to just go ahead and
I
kill
don't
her
mean to.
last session.
18 sessions is good for you guys.
Yeah.
It's really good.
All right, and then I don't know which way I have to go to get out of here, but I am running.
All right. You're following Kale.
And we're gonna go for like, since I think I'm next in the initiative, right?
You are the next player character in initiative.
Yeah. Okay. There's one more. Okay.
You again, Shorin, your 40 feet would get you past the building. Do you want to go past the building, or do you want to wait at the edge of Kale until your next turn? Wait, do you still have your action, don't you?
Yeah, because she bonus.
Yeah, she bonus action healing word. So, do you want to move?
No, I use the cure wounds. That's an
Oh,
action.
okay.
Oh, okay then.
But so, yeah, do you want to move into the open, or do you want to stay at the corner with Kale?
Stay at the corner with Kale.
Okay.
We can go on the next one. I wouldn't be able to like hold movement. The rest of my movement for when he moves.
You need to use an action to ready that.
Yeah,
And
thought so.
Lyslin, as you are trying to run, you again see that flash of white darts aiming at you. There are 5 of them.
5 takes me out.
What did your potion heal you to, though?
Didn't have a potion. I got 1 hit
Oh.
point. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Boom, 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 boom.
Sorry, Lyslin.
Lyson, you get to go home.
I guess I'm
You
not
do.
so sorry.
Like I said in my letter.
At this point, with the 2 of you having 40 feet of movement, even if they were to give chase, you could outrun them. It makes them maybe the bow twin, but he's obviously not going to go off on his own. So the 2 of you book it and leave, not knowing what's happened to your friends. And as you book it into the dark streets of Lower Memphis, not knowing, just absolutely distraught over what has just occurred, we're going to end the session there.
Well, time to get Violet Jr. so that we can keep that.
She's gonna pop into the thing.
Uh-huh.
It's like, okay, some shit happened.
Later on, back at the inn, Merrick walks in. Man, I had a great time with my studies. How do you guys sees them all fucking beaten?
I won hundreds
defeated?
of dollars in gambling.
Got a sack of gold and an enchantment job now. Making my way
Burn
up
the
in the
casino
world.
to the ground.
Man, I feel bad that I wasn't able to whistle for Becky to flee. Some say she's still up on that roof to this day.
I'm sure she'll get
Well,
bored
he.
eventually and be like, "We're gone."
Yeah, that's right. The animals. You left the animal, most of the animals except for Becky.
Yeah, I left
at the end.
everyone except for Becky with, and I kind of took him
Oh,
off of my antlers and
God.
pushed him to the side when Violet started doing her shit.
That's right.
I'm the only one who can talk to animals now. I have to give them the bad news.
You don't know the
God.
news.
We will
Lyslin did the most important thing to him. He's making sure that Kale gets back to Ainsley.
You know what? I appreciate that.
Just for
I
everyone
promised
to
him.
know.
He's not gonna, abandon you unless he dies. And Lyslin's making sure that Kale didn't die. There.
Well,
Oh yeah, just for reference, Air rolled 3 fails on her death saving throws in a row. She did
In a
not
row.
get 1 success.
wow.
Fuck yeah, Air.
I rolled 2 natural ones.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
that was that
So
man.
rough.
On those rolls, my God. We will discuss off stream what everyone wants to do for said characters going forward, and so on and so forth. And we will discuss. I might have to take next week off to figure out where we're gonna go with the story.
Yeah,
because
I think we're all gonna
Yeah.
need a bit of a mental
Diverged
health
a
break
little bit.
anyways.
But if I can come up with something interesting once we figure out characters, and that give time people to, if they are going to make new characters or not, whatever the case may be.
I got 3 backups, I just need them approved.
Okay. And we will go from there.
I'm so unhappy with this.
I'm really
So
sorry.
I can't believe you rolled 2 natural ones. That is so unfortunate.
Alright.
Okay, I would also
dude,
like to just tell
yeah.
my fucked up plan if I hadn't been magic missiled. So,
Mhm.
if it had gotten to Lyslin's turn and he wasn't downed again, he was gonna impale Violet's body on one of his arrows and just fire it off, hoping the others would catch it.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
That's a thing that exists now.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna let them get another fairy if I could.
On stream too. Okay, So,
Damn, dude, that's a missed opportunity.
does anyone have any ideas for a name for this stream?
Fuck.
I mean, I wish,
Lessons
but I
not
don't.
learned.
I
Yeah,
wish,
lessons
but I'm
not
not gonna.
learned.
I don't think I should put that on YouTube as a name.
Lessons not learned. I like that one.
Yeah, that's good.
That's really good.
Yeah. All right, and if anyone has a suggestion for raids, personally, I'm thinking Winter X Roses, because she's playing Call of Duty, not my favorite thing, but she also doesn't have any viewers, and like,
Do it.
yeah.
Go for it.
All right. Okay. Setting that up now. All right, everyone. I will be back tomorrow, 6 o'clock p.m. Or not tomorrow, Sunday, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time to continue Horizon Zero Dawn. Having a lot of fun with that one.
That's a good game.
Anyone who's on YouTube or on watching this later on, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow all the things that you're constantly told to do a lot in videos. Thank you all for
Those of you that
watching.
Stuck around. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
We
that too.
appreciate you.
Thank you for
Come back
showing
next
up.
time.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna have to dye my hair.
oh no. All right, I'm setting up the raid now.
Okay.
Okay.
We just got my emoji. What the
I
fuck are we gonna do about character art?
paid
And
for the
then
char-
you're
I
the
paid for the
three.
character art, so I blame all of you right now. Well,
I paid
some of it.
for most of it.
I thought we both paid for it.
You
No,
paid for
I-
some of it, yeah, and
I paid for
Cast it.
Violet.
Okay.
all right. Let's head out.
I know I paid for something. for something.
Rating
Maybe
now.
we can make use of it.
And we're out.
Ending string.